Start off by asking about the situation at the Star yesterday. I'm not sure what you can tell us, but do you have any update on the strength and conditioning coach, Markus Paul? We understand he suffered a medical emergency.
Yes, his family is with him. They got with him late yesterday, and he's one of the most loved people we have with the Dallas Cowboys. He touches everybody. He's head of our strength and conditioning. He's a trooper, and we certainly, our hearts are with him and his family, and his condition is really where it has been. We have no update there, but we're very concerned about him.
I mean, I think stating the obvious, extremely difficult. I mean, obviously with the passing of Markus Paul, I mean, it was, a lot of heavy hearts, but I can't say enough about our football team, about our players, the way they came out, started the game, and we had a number of adverse things to deal with throughout the game. We just, we didn't get it going to where we wanted to get it going in the second half. But you find out a lot about people in these times, and I can't tell you how proud I am as this football team. But yes, it's a week that I don't think any of us will ever forget.
Swing, I'ma swing. Watching clip angle, screen fall, I'ma ball. Better get this tangle in the dick, I'm rig. I'ma take big, slide, I'ma ride by, get special effect. Swing, I'ma swing. Watching clip angle, screen fall, I'ma ball. Better get this.
Welcome to episode number 10. Thank you guys for joining me. I want to say thank you for joining me along this journey in season 2. Now we've kind of more so hit the back stretch of this season, as tumultuous and frustrating and as mind-boggling as this season has been. You stuck with me, watched a few of my episodes here and there. Thank you for that. I felt like this time was needed to just kind of break away from the usual. Took some time spending with my family. The Cowboys went on a bye week, and then they had the game against Minnesota, and then Thanksgiving, Washington football team. And I didn't want to just break down 2 videos. I felt like compiling these thoughts and opinions onto the Cowboys season, as far as what happened this previous week, into one video, instead of breaking it down more than once. So first and foremost, I want to send my deepest condolences and prayers to the family of Markus Paul, the Cowboys strength and conditioning coach. During the week previous, leading up to their Thanksgiving Day game, he was taken to the hospital and shortly thereafter passed away due to a condition known as a stroke. They said that's what Jared was saying to us on 105.3 The Fan. He said it was known as a stroke. So it's not easy. It's very, very difficult for the Cowboys now. Imagine trying to get up to play a football game and you just lost a coach whom you've had a relationship with in some form or fashion, and now they're no longer here. And then his family, especially during this tough, tumultuous year that we've been dealing with in regards to COVID and a pandemic. And then on top of that, you lose a family member. It's not easy. It's very, very hard. And so I want to take this time out to just say my prayers are with you guys. He is a comforter, and he will help you during this time of difficulty. And I know the Cowboys as an organization are doing the best they can with the situation going forward and the loss. So I know it's not easy, and the grace has been extended from my point of view to them, and going forward it will still remain. Getting to the Cowboys matchup against the Minnesota Vikings, I felt like, leading up to it, a lot of the media nationally was kind of whatever with the Cowboys, but here locally in Dallas, they were panicking. I felt like, people were thinking, oh, the Cowboys can, going against the Steelers and they were playing really hard and they came really close. What if, they can take on a team that's of lesser talent than the Steelers and actually beat them and get on a roll? And who knows, might even possibly capture the division title. I immediately said when I heard these rumblings is that ain't no way that's gonna happen. Don't worry, the Cowboys will find a way to lose these games. And it's not just because they're a bad football team, yes, but because they're just untalented at key positions. In this league, you have to be able to protect your quarterback, and then you gotta be able to cover. Cowboys can't do either one now. That's the unfortunate situation that they're in. Litany of injuries up front. You got to be able to block. You got to be able to hold your block and take on multiple rushers at many facets of the game, at many moments. And you can't do that consistently with backups. Same thing on the secondary. You can come up with as many creative blitzes and pressure packages that you can, but you still got to trust your secondary to cover. And right now they can't. And it's unfortunate because they let a cornerback go in free agency that would have been a tremendous benefit to them right now as a lone bright spot. But at the same time, the Cowboys yet and still have been blessed in the name of Donovan Wilson, who played a magnificent game against the Vikings. Forced hit after hit, got hand-on passes and blocked them, knocked them down, knocked the ball out of Dalvin Cook's hands as he's trying to catch it. The boy has a bit of a knack for playing that safety position. The kind of energy and focus that it takes to play that position. Is he going to be perfect? Heck no. But he has more of an attitude of going for playing aggressive, being the aggressor versus allowing the team to knock him off his feet or push him back and knock him on his rocker or whatever how you want to put it. And because of that, the Cowboys can hang their hat on that and then go into the draft and add another safety and another cornerback to help build on what they already have. The Cowboys need to revamp their secondary, and they got to get some offensive linemen in here. They got a good running game. Shout out to Tony Pollard. Zeke got his first 100-yard game of the season. The closest he got before that game against the Vikings, week 1, 4 yards short from getting 100 against the Rams. Moving on. CeeDee Lamb would be killing it right now across the league if he had Dak. That catch he had against the Vikings was magnificent. And I feel like with more continuity with the quarterback, he's only going to get better. He's finding his groove. He might have some ups and downs here and there, but overall, you're going to be able to count on him Sunday after Sunday, Thursday after Thursday, or whatever you want to say it. You're going to be able to see him play at a high level. The Cowboys going against Washington, though, they had the energy there, but injuries once again caught up to them. Cam Irving, Zach Martin. And of course, they didn't have the center Bidiotish. And then, the only guy that they had also that was legitimately good, he played okay, and that's Connor Williams. But at the same time, you're missing your dogs at the offensive line position. You already don't have Lyle Collins. So you had to throw Zach Martin at right tackle, which benefited them against the Vikings. And then they added Joe Looney as a center. And then they moved Connor McGovern at right guard. And then they had Connor Williams left guard. They had Cam Irving at left tackle. Then you end up with injury to Cam. And then you end up with Brandon Knight. And then you end up right tackle, Terrence Steele. Lord help me. Move on. I don't want to get stuck on that. If you know how I am about Terrence Steele, you should have watched enough of my episodes. If not, just look up Terrence Steele against any team with the Cowboys. There's your answer. The defense, run defense, has been porous all season. But at certain moments, they were making plays and slowing teams down. They did okay against Dalvin Cook. They wasn't nothing to smile at, but it wasn't terrible. Going against Washington, that's their bread and butter. They don't have a prolific passing offense, so they're going to turn and hand the ball off, which works well with Ron Rivera's style anyway. run the football, play exceptional defense. That's who he is. I feel like what the Cowboys did on Thursday was just the fact that they were even able to make the game competitive for at least a half and some change made more than enough for me to believe that McCarthy had those guys ready to play, especially with what was taking place. Now, at random times, yes, the quarterback made some questionable decisions trying to get the ball out, holding it too long. And then McCarthy going for it multiple times got people sitting here wondering, why? The only reason why we are upset is because it didn't work. And we called Garrett cowardice. We said he was weak-minded. He didn't have any guts to try to be aggressive. And then when he does, what do? We complain. So I'm like, man, come on. Like, I don't want to sit here and complain often about what Mike McCarthy does and doesn't do. The man's trying to win. That's all he's trying to do. You want to complain about him going for it when you just had a complaint from the coach previously that he was too scary? Just say it. Dang, it didn't work. But don't get mad at the coach for making the decision. Be mad at the poor execution. Now, I don't know what was going through Cedric Wilson's mind. Who knows? If it was still dealing with the loss of the coach, my prayers are with him. And he could have sat down out of the game and said, no, I can't do it. But to go out there and run that end around and hold it instead of looking at Chris Godwin, who was at least 30 yards down the field, wide open. If he even threw a porous pass and got within 5 yards of Godwin, Godwin had a chance of catching it and then racing up and down the sideline and making that returner miss and scoring. Because that was the only guy that was out there that can defend that pass. And even if he did try to defend the pass, it was too far away. So the play was drawn up perfectly. You can go online on YouTube and you can find it on Twitter, find out how that play was drawn up. It's beautiful. It would have worked awesome. And it probably would have gave the Cowboys a little more element of belief. I'm not going to sit here and complain about what the Cowboys are doing because they're dealing with a lot of unfortunate situations going on with COVID and injuries and all that stuff. My hope going forward is that they understand that some things are not just an aberration of this season. Some things were just bound to happen because of how you took care of your team the previous year under Garrett. You want to carry this over to another coaching regime and think that that's going to give you what you want as far as success? Be my guest. I don't have hope for it. You want to try to sell me on Jalen Smith? Go ahead. You want to try to sell me on keeping Zeke after this year? Nah, the way I see it, you can try to sell me on, the fact that, you want to give Dak another contract, but that's only based off of guilt. You didn't want to give it to him when he was 100% healthy, giving you all that he got, being a great leader. Come on. And now this year, you're going into another draft where you have a chance to refurbish, restructure, and totally revamp your whole roster because you're going to have a lot of players available to you if you choose to trade down and get more picks. In the next 2 years, your draft is going to bring in a new regime of players. Are you going to change your mentality on how you acquire them and actually develop them? And then if you choose to develop them and they're consistently good, are you going to keep bringing them back or are you going to let them go free agency because it's too expensive? These are the things I think about now that the team has, basically thrown away a season. Now, it's not all entirely their fault, but I do also want to hold them accountable because some things they could have avoided if they had taken care of business ahead of time. But there's no time like the present. They still have a chance to sign Dak. They have a chance to cut Jalen Smith. They're not going to. They can restructure Zeke's contract, but they can't. They got to take the fact that they were stupid enough to sign him too early and run with him, even though they had already used him up through the first 3 years of his contract and his first 3 years in this league. But, it is what it is. It's what the organization likes to do. They find a player that they love, they market them to death, and then they use him up if they don't feel like he's legitimately going to compete for a number of years, unless they feel like he's a soldier like Sean Lee or Jason Witten. They'll stick with them then, but But don't let it be a Dez or a type of player that's known for being a little controversial. That ain't gonna really work. That ain't gonna really work with them. They going to face Baltimore. This game was originally slated for another Thursday night, but it ended up getting moved to Tuesday because of the COVID-related situation And that game that they had against the Steelers, I'm talking Ravens here, held them back even further. So the Cowboys are going to face a team that is still dealing with issues, but I don't know if the Cowboys are even ready to play. I should hope they will be, because of the fact they've had some time away from, the sport, taking time away to deal with the loss. At the same time, it's still the Cowboys. You don't know what you're going to get. We didn't know we were going to get that performance against Minnesota because they were going against a team that's known for running the football effectively with arguably the best running back in the league, not named Derrick Henry, and Dalvin Cook running up and down the scene. So they survived and then go win against Washington, but got exploited. So it's going to be where you flip a coin, you let me know as a viewer what you think the Cowboys are going to do. Because I don't know. I can tell you maybe they will, maybe they won't, they will do this, maybe they don't. I can't tell you. All I'm going to say is just watch. That's what I do. That's what I've been saying, because this season has just been a total wash as far as what to expect. I don't even know if they'll entertain you, because the team is not entertaining at this point. What you really ought to be looking for is players who are going to contribute, who are young. Cowboys have nothing to hold their hat on in the secondary as far as players are concerned. They need to see who's going to be able to compete and make plays so that they can get another contract, be a part of the team coming next year. Pass rush, of course, that needs to come alive now. Who is the backup tackles? Who's the backup offensive weapons that this team can lean on when things do go wrong? That's what we need to be watching. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of The Truth Serum. Tune in to watch the Ravens game on a Tuesday night. I've never heard the Cowboys play on a Tuesday night, but I will, and hopefully you will too. Send me some thoughts, comments. Let me know what you think of what this team is really going to be about going forward. Are they going to look to the draft? Or are they going to keep fighting to see what this end of the season is going to bring them? Thank you for watching. Have a great week, guys. Peace.